Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lorraine Rose, and if you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. It means so much. For today's video, we are tackling part 3 of how I tackle the chores in my home throughout an entire week. So if you haven't watched part 1 and part 2 yet, I will link those videos down below. But for today, I'm going to show you what I do on Wednesdays as far as chores go in my home to keep up with my home throughout the week. And that is the kitchen. Now, the first thing that I like to do before I really get into the deep cleaning of my kitchen on Wednesdays is I like to just tidy up. Now, every night before I go to bed, I spend a good solid hour tidying up my whole kitchen just to kind of keep on top of it, and that way on Wednesdays I can really focus on the deep cleaning. Now, I do have a confession to make. Halfway through this, I had some things that I had to do, and so I had to kind of split Wednesday's day up into 2 days. But for the sake of this 6-part video series I'm doing for you guys, I'm going to include it all in today's video so you can see what I typically do on a Wednesday when I don't have other things going on. And I did want to include this because, you know, it's just real life. Like, as much as we'd love to tackle everything on our task list that we have planned for that day, sometimes, you know, life just gets in the way of that. And I think that's the beauty of, you know, not just devoting yourself wholeheartedly to your home to where you're putting off other things that probably matter a little bit more in those moments, if not so much more. But yes, typically on Wednesdays, I try not to make any plans so I can just dedicate my day to deep cleaning my kitchen. You know, I'll also use this day to go replenish my groceries or do some meal prep, but for today's video, I'm going to show you what I did this Wednesday. And as you just saw, as you've seen in my other 2 videos that I posted on Monday and Tuesday, I do like to keep a journal of my cleaning schedule and my day-to-day schedule, things that I do consistently every day and every single week. But for this week, the first thing that I'm tackling in my kitchen as far as the deep cleaning of it is I am cleaning out the refrigerator. Now, last week I deep cleaned the freezer, so I don't have to do that this week. And that's the other beauty about keeping up with things on a weekly basis, is you're able to get to where a lot of things you only have to do bi-weekly or even monthly. But yes, for today, basically what I do when I deep clean my fridge is I empty it out completely. I wipe everything down. I kind of go through any food that's about to go bad. I put that in a bowl and I bring that out to my chickens. And then I kind of will like reorganize the food at this point. If some of the food needs to be put in smaller containers or I want to create a more uniformed look, I'll do, you know, a lot of the leftover foods in matching containers. And I just wipe everything down and then reorganize everything back into my fridge. Now, I have slowly bought organizational things for my fridge just to make it look aesthetically pleasing, because that is kind of like a motto of mine throughout my videos and just in my life and in my home, is that I want things to be functional, but also beautiful. I want them to be dual purpose in that way, even in the spaces like the fridge, because you open the fridge multiple times a day. And so I do, you know, have a goal to kind of make it look a certain aesthetic, if that makes sense, or to kind of give it a certain aesthetic is what I mean. Now, I buy things slowly, and I've bought organization things slowly for the fridge. And one of my goals for this year of the things that I want to buy to kind of up my organization game and make my fridge look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing is to buy some new baskets that are just a little bit more to my style. And then I also want to purchase some new food storage bins. I want to try to find some glass ones with wooden clip-on lids. I don't even know if they make those, but I would love it if I could find those, because I love the ones that I have with the lids that clip on. They're so secure, nothing ever leaks through them, but they just don't really go with the aesthetic that I'm going for in this space. So yes, that's a little tip I have. You know, don't feel like you have to organize your whole home all at once. Just have a goal in mind of what look you're going for, and then just like slowly every month buy a few things at a time. And then you'll be surprised, you know, if you buy a few things every month, that's like 24 items within a year that you've used in that one space to kind of make it into a space that you love, and then you'll have it for, you know, the rest of your life if you're going for a more timeless look. And I try to stay away from the trends and do more timeless looks throughout my home. That way I can love it for years to come. But yes, the first thing that I do here is clean out the fridge. Now, one thing that I have on my schedule to do when I'm completely finished deep cleaning my kitchen is to sweep and mop the entire space. But what I've found to work a little bit better is waiting until Thursday to do that, because Thursday I deep clean the living room and the front entryway, and all of those spaces are kind of connected. We have more of an open concept, an open floor plan. And so I will wait till Thursday to sweep and mop the kitchen, the living room, and the front entryway. So that's just a little tip. Don't feel like you can't tweak your schedule once you've made it. Don't be afraid to change some things around if you find that maybe certain things work better for you as you start to kind of get into the groove of your new schedule. And then I have all of my empty containers that I emptied out, and I'm gonna just leave those in the sink for now, and I'm gonna move on to the pantry. Now, a couple weeks ago, I did deep clean my pantry, which what that looks like is I just empty everything out, declutter it, wipe everything down, and then reorganize everything back into these baskets. And this is another goal that I have for this new year, is to switch out the baskets for clear plastic containers with lids that can stack, that I can house things in. And so I'm actually going to starting next month, buying things for my pantry to kind of reorganize it in a way that is more aesthetically pleasing and more to my style. But for now, I really didn't have to tackle the pantry because I already did that. So it was just a little bit of reorganizing. And as you see my outfit change, I stopped after I was done with the pantry, and I did the things that I had to get done that day, and then I started back. I kind of included this in one of my other days of the week that I videoed, but I'm gonna just keep it with Wednesday's video because Wednesday is all about cleaning your kitchen. So the next thing I like to do is kind of go throughout the cabinets in my kitchen and reorganize the ones that need to be decluttered and reorganized and wiped down. Now, I really keep on top of this because I'm doing it every week, so really the only cabinet that I had to kind of go through and declutter was my spice cabinet. So I just kind of go through all of the spices and I replenish the ones that are on my counter, and then I make sure that none of them are expired. And I do this about once a month. I wipe down the spice cabinet, and I also go through all of our supplements, and I will organize all of our supplements for the month. Now, I have a vitamin container. It's kind of like a vitamin organizer, and I can divide my supplements out for the month. That way I just have it in a small container and I don't have to like pull out tons of jars of vitamins every single day. It's just in my organizer, and I do the same thing for my husband. So I'm just doing that now. But yes, this is a good time for you to go through those spaces in your kitchen that are really cluttered, full of stuff that you kind of need to go through and reorganize. And you know, you can do just one cabinet a week and just work your way through your kitchen slowly. That way it's not as overwhelming, and you could just say, okay, today I'm going to focus on my under the sink cabinet. And one thing I would recommend is for you to kind of keep a list on your phone as you're going through the cabinets in your kitchen of things that you would want to purchase to make, you know, better organization solutions within those spaces, or, you know, maybe things that you need to restock on. It's just a great time to do that. But like I said, just work on one drawer or one cabinet a week, and then you'll find that by the end of 1 or 2 months, your whole kitchen will be organized and it'll be so much easier to keep up with. And then basically once I'm done doing that, I like to wipe down all of the blinds. So we have a large window in our kitchen, we have 4 windows in our dining room, and we have a large glass door. And then I also go ahead and tackle the blinds and the windows in the living room since it's right by the kitchen, and the living room is actually what I do on Thursday, so it kind of gives me a head start on Thursday's tasks by doing that. Now I will say this about the living room is I keep my blinds up because we have curtains to cover the windows, and that keeps my blinds from getting super dusty. So that's just a little cleaning tip for you guys. But yeah, basically I just wipe them all down really well, and this is something that I really only have to do like once every 2 months. My blinds don't get super dusty or super dirty, and you can just, how you can keep up with that is once you notice that your blinds are getting really dirty, just take the 20 to 30 minutes to wipe them down. That's how long it takes me to do these 8 surfaces, is about 20 to 30 minutes. So yeah, only to have to do that once every couple months isn't too much trouble though. And then the next thing that I like to do is wipe down all of the light fixtures. This is something that I only have to do seasonally, so before each new season I will do this, so about 4 times a year. And some of the other things that you can just keep up with in the evening as far as your evening schedule goes with your kitchen space is wiping down all the appliances. That's what I do every single evening. I wipe down my kitchen sink, I wipe down my kitchen faucet, my refrigerator, my cooktop, my oven surface. I wipe down all of the counters. If there's any food that's gotten on the cabinet surfaces, I wipe those down. And that will make your deep clean that much easier because you've kind of maintained those things throughout the week. Last week I deep cleaned the inside of the oven, and so this week I'm deep cleaning the outside. So I just spray it really well and then I wipe it all down, and that way I kind of only have to do that twice a month. So yeah. And then the next thing I like to do is take the hood vent screen right here. It's super greasy and really dirty. It's hard to tell in the video, but I take that and I put it in the dishwasher and I just wipe down the hood vent really, really well, and then I just give the countertop surfaces a nice good wipe down after that. Now, this is just unique to me in my kitchen. These are the things that I like to deep clean once a week, but it may be different for you in your kitchen. And cleaning the hood vent like this, I really only have to do a couple times a month. So like I said, and like I've been saying, if you get into the routine of deep cleaning your spaces, you'll find that there will be some weeks where you'll only have to do a couple of things, and the things that I like to deep clean may be different than the things that you want to deep clean every week. So this is really just to give you some ideas and show you what I do and hopefully motivate you and encourage you that you can tend to your home and keep up with things without them, overtaking your life and without feeling like you have piles and piles of things to do every single week. And the last thing that I like to do before I finish is arrange a bouquet of flowers. I don't always do this. I probably only do this once a month, but here's just a little marriage tip, and you can take it or leave it, but it's worked really well for me and my husband. My husband is so sweet and so precious, and I know he loves me, but it's just not in him to think to bring home a bouquet of flowers for me or some bath salts or things that would bless me. And so I have to just gently remind him, and that's what I did last week. I said, honey, could you bring home some flowers for me? I would really love that. I love arranging them. It's so therapeutic. I love looking at them throughout the week. They they make me so happy. They're so beautiful. And so this day he brought me home these flowers, and I love that. When I'm done cleaning the kitchen, having a beautiful bouquet of flowers to arrange, it just does something for me. So that's just a little tip. If your husband doesn't naturally think to do those things, instead of waiting for him to do it, just voice what you want. And this is something, I've been married for 11 years, that I've continuously had to voice to my husband. It's not that he means to forget or that he doesn't love me. He just needs to be reminded. And I mean, my husband's such an intelligent man. He's such a wonderful man, such a great husband. And so it has nothing to do with his character, his lack of desiring to show me he loves me. He just needs to be reminded. And so, yeah, that's just a little tip. I think sometimes wives can get kind of upset or bitter at their husbands for not doing things, when it can be just an easy fix of just voicing what you need. But yes, this is today's video, and I will see you guys tomorrow to show you what I do on Thursdays. But I love you guys so much. Bye.